get in.
Okay,
Thank you.
so welcome to the Remind tutorial for today. The format of today, I'm hoping, will be about 10 minutes for everyone to get the app, 10 minutes to explain how to use it, and then 10 minutes for questions. At the last one, because these apps can be a little bit complicated, I think it might take a little bit more time to get it and explain it, but that's fine. We can always meet tomorrow. So I'm going to put, where am I, Zoom Remind? I'm going to put a link to the tutorial in the meeting. This is the link to the Remind tutorial. So please click on the link and we should all open up a Google Doc that says Remind tutorial.
Hi. Where do you find the link? Do we have to open the Gmail?
Open chat.
Open chat.
Yeah, do you see that?
Okay, I got it. Yeah. Okay. I see. I got it. Got it.
Okay.
Thanks.
No problem at all. Let me just share. Victoria needs viewing permissions. So a little bit about Remind. Victoria, oopsies. Let me just add you. Copy, Miss Swan. Whatever, continue. Okay, so you should see that really soon, Victoria. Okay, so Remind is really great for our kids because it will automatically translate your message. It's like a text messaging app platform, and it translates into over 90 languages. It's also really great because it's private, so it doesn't share your real phone number to students, and in turn, it doesn't share students' phone numbers to you. I like to type on the computer because you can open it up sometimes on the computer, so you can write a little bit quicker, and it's great for group announcements instead of like a group text. The platform is just a little bit easier to manage. So we're going to actually set this up on your phone, not on the computer.
Haha.
Yep. So, and in the App Store, if you have an Android, that's fine. If you have an iPhone, that's fine. Search for Remind and then download it. So, and the Remind icon is blue with a white cloud. And it should say it's number 2 in education apps.
Is Miss?
Yes, Jeff?
Is Mr. Hoban in this meeting? Me and him don't have smartphones. We're
Oh goodness.
It's all right. I already have it. I already have it on my desktop.
Okay, perfect.
Or on my laptop, so we're good. I have my classroom set up.
Read my message, Jeff. I send you a nice message privately.
Okay. That's funny. So as we get the app, you can also, like Jeff said, you can also log on the computer so that you can use Remind. Let me show you where that is, remind.com. So if you go, if you would prefer on the computer, or if you don't want to put it on your cell phone right now, that's okay. You can click on remind.com, and then in the top right corner, it says sign up, and you can sign up there. Okay, great. So I am not an expert in Remind. I just started using it a couple days ago because I wanted to play around with it and see if I liked it. When you create your account, make sure you use your school email. And when you're looking for a school, Boston International should pop up, and you can kind of start typing it in and it should automatically populate.
Do we have a 4-digit code?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me see. Settings.
That code goes to your email to verify your account.
Okay, that's helpful. So, can I see where we are? On the bottom of your Zoom screen, you can see reactions. Can you give a thumbs up if you feel like you're able to download the app? Oh, yay, Missy Kada. Oh, Miss Jean. Great. So we're, oopsies. Okay. So we are in Remind. I'd like you to click on, so on number 4, you can click the blue plus and it says create a class. Actually, why don't I say, let me actually create a class, practice with Sam, and okay. So I'm actually going to have you join my Remind app as if you were a student. And I'm going to share a link, copy link. And if you'd like, you can open, still waiting for the code. You can click on the link. This is what you would do for your students. They would click on the link to join your classroom. And I'm just going to share my screen so that you can see how it's working. If you don't want to see my screen, take 3 fingers and swipe on your trackpad and it will move my screen off so you can see whatever you were doing. But right now,
how do you make your screen smaller, or is it?
So you can take 3 fingers and swipe on your trackpad and it will move. Did it move it out for you?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I just shared a link with you to add you to my Remind. And I'm gonna see if anyone was able to join. So Miss Mateo is in, yes, Coach F is in.
Did you send the code, Samantha?
Click on the chat, and it's on the chat. It says, I just put a link, remind.com/join/B2F9. You see that? Yay, Marie's in. Okay, Jeff is in. So you are
I'm sorry, Sam. What's the class code?
class
It
code.
asked me for the class code.
That was sent to your email.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Mr. Oben.
Good, I see a lot of people are in the practice with Sam. So I'm gonna share my screen and I'll start sending you a message, and I'm gonna show you how I translate it into a different language. Share screen, bing, bing. Okay, so you can see my screen. On my left, on the left-hand side, I see classes owned. And I see practice with Sam. The 1 means I have 1 message. I also see my tech lit period 1 from my other, this was my other practice. So let me just see. So this is my classes owned right here. We're in practice with Sam right here. Now, moving towards the right, you can see that my practice with Sam.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
How do I join the class again? I was still.
That's okay. That's okay. Good. Click on the chat and there's a link in the chat. Did you see that link?
Sam, I also have a question. How did you use the yellow marker to draw circles?
It's I hovered and there's the option to annotate.
Where's the option?
I think that's only because I'm sharing my screen.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so if we look, we can see a couple options on the top. I see messages. So these are the messages that I have sent or will send to my students in my group. Let's see, I'm gonna stop with this. Okay, so I see all my participants on the left. I see my 1 message was from Nairobi, hi. And I'm going to send an announcement by clicking, I'm gonna message everyone, which is an announcement. So it automatically, so you can see my message is here. All right, it automatically made a message for me, that's fine. But look on the right-hand side. I know this gets a little complicated, but you can add things to your message. So if you want like 1 important announcement and say a link to a file that they have to complete, or a link to your Google Classroom. Hey, don't forget to complete the work in Google Classroom. You can click on one of these options and add that to your message. For the meantime, let's keep it simple. This is my message to all of my participants. If I click translate, you can see all these amazing languages. You guys are gonna get it in Amharic. So I clicked Amharic, now the whole message is translated. Again, it's not, we know that translation is not perfect, but it's better than nothing because I don't know Amharic. And I can either schedule it, so, okay, I know my assignment is due on Friday, so I'm gonna schedule this reminder for Thursday so that they can remember to do it Friday. Right now, I'm just gonna send it so that everyone has it and can look at it. And then you should be able to see this announcement on your remind, okay? Cool. Oh, oh my Lanta, 2 thumbs up. And did I mention on my YouTube channel with my instructional videos, I have 3 likes. So this is my announcement section. There's also the option to just message individual people. So if I just want to click on Hogu and I know that he's the only person who speaks Haitian Creole, I can click translate and I'm gonna go to Haitian Creole. Merci pour entraînement. Okay, so now Mr. Hogu gets a personal message from me. I know that he's read it. You can see the little red and the check mark. I'm gonna just annotate for a second. You can see the red and the check mark on the bottom right. And now he can talk. I know that he's just talking with me and we have a one-on-one conversation. I also like the whole class messages. If I click on messages again, I can send a whole class message. Now, I wanna stop right here to feel how comfortable we are with the basics of this, sending a message and translating. Those are kind of the most important parts before we talk at all about kind of the more fancy things with files and people and settings.
Is this meant to be used with our students or like as a staff?
So this is that's a good question. This is really great for students, and the reason is because it kind of keeps your privacy, and it's also really good for parents. I know one of our amazing teachers actually created a class by language groups. So she created a class of just Spanish-speaking parents. And then she sends Spanish messages in Spanish to those parents. And then she has a group of just Haitian students and just a group of just Cape Verdean students. And so she translates it's an easy way to get one announcement out to a bunch of kids in the same language group.
Some things on Google Classroom, they have a different format for the student than for the teacher. If we send something out in Remind, will they see the same thing we are looking at?
They should see more or less. They'll be able to see announcements and messages. They'll also be able to send files. They just won't necessarily have the admin privileges that you do with I'm not sure, I haven't used Remind enough to know if they can add people themselves, but I'm pretty sure they cannot because you are the admin for this group. Okay, so I'm gonna stop share. Okay. So
Sam, so what is this Remind adding more to the Google Chrome? Because Google Chrome is working all of these things that you're saying.
So this is just an app that you can either have on your computer, like I'm just showing the platform on my computer because, or you can have it as an app on your phone and you can text different students and then immediately translate it to languages that you don't necessarily know. And it's a good translation tool, especially for those students who have languages that you might not communicate in, to give them specific instructions about stuff that's going on in your class.
So translation is a plus, that's it.
Translation, that's kind of the biggest positive of this. Yeah, the translation.
Sam, as far as adding the app to my phone, how do I do that to the BPS account versus my personal account?
Yeah, you definitely want it on your BPS account. When it asks you to create an account, you can sign in with Google and you just make sure to use the school Google like Gmail, or you can type it in manually.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, always use your school when we're doing school stuff. What other, now this is something that, like you saw, I don't have to manually add every single student. They can just either click on a link or they can enter a code and they automatically join your class. So you don't have to look up every single student and enter them manually. You can just have them join your class themselves or the conversation. Okay, so what I like us to we have a few minutes for questions, so we can go over a few more things. But I just wanted to go through the very basics of this. If you'd like, you can try to send a message back to the group. Set students' language preference and then send one message in English that will translate that. I'm typing back and forth right now, and I encourage you to just type me a message, and I can respond. So we can use it together. And then meanwhile, you can ask questions out loud while we're doing this. Hello. Can you attempt to write a message and then translate it into a different language? So, oh, c'est très utile. Yes, it is, Coach F. Let's do an Indonesian. Good. Just join the class. No problem. Thank you, James, for the Arabic. I understand.
Thank you.
Okay, so you can see you guys are messaging me privately, and I can just instantly respond and then translate. And I love that they have Somali and Amharic. I'm going to put it in Somali. Okay. Oh, thank you, Susie, for the Japanese. I understand perfectly.
So Sam, I'm able to message you individually, but how is it that I can be like seeing the whole group conversation?
So if you click on, so there's two categories. There's announcements and there's conversations. Do you see the two categories? I'll just share my screen really quickly to show you, but that's a really, really good question. So let me get my little annotation station going. So you see announcements, and then you see conversations. Is that something that you see on your end?
I only see one of them.
Are you able to see my previous announcement? That's in Amharic.
I see it, but it's only part of a conversation I have with you.
Oh, I see. Same here. Okay. So it looks like with announcements, that's a really good question. Let me just see what I can do here. Okay. If I message you, can you message all back?
Sam, stay there. Where do you translate there, please?
Oh, that's okay. Here, I'll do it again. No problem. Ready? So I'm clicking here. I click message. And then when I type, I have the option to translate. So you see, Maria, let me just remove these. You see the translate in blue?
Okay. And then you go there.
Click that, and then you choose your language.
Okay.
Do they have Albanian? I think I saw, yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. Okay, so then, let's see. So it looks like when I send an announcement, it looks like it's a pure announcement, and that I'm the only one who's allowed to announce. Yeah, so that is to one person. When I see the announcement, I only see what I wrote. So then that's something for me to do a little bit of research on and follow up with you. And let's click on people. No. So that's something that I think I'm going to play with and follow up with you. I don't know if it's because we're all registered as teachers or what it is, but I'm going to just write that on my notes so that I can follow up with that. How do people message in group chat? Okay, perfect. I'm going to go back to here. What does the blue lightning icon mean next to the student's name? I don't know. Let's see. It means reachable by text or push notification. The little blue lightning bolt means that you're reachable by text. So it means probably that you're like live, and I know that you're live.
I know.
Separate groups. How do you create separate groups? So you create a separate group by adding a new class. It's like a class. Phone number. I see your actual phone number. I don't think the phone number is actually my phone number. Let me see what it says. What phone number do you see? No, that's not my number. Yep. So we have less than a minute left. I see some questions. I'll respond to your questions on Remind, and then I'm going to post the recording because I recorded this Zoom meeting, and then I think it's best to have a follow-up tomorrow so that we can check in and that I can investigate a couple of the questions that you guys had.
Thank you, Sam.
Okay, if you have any more questions, contact me as you will. You can email, you can use Remind, and I'll check in with you tomorrow.
Thanks.
Thank you.